Hello, doers, and welcome to part 2 of the Wise Direct Deposit tutorial. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch it now. Last time we linked our Odoo database with Wise. In this video, we're going to walk through the direct deposit payment workflow. We're going to learn how to add bank accounts and create vendor payment records using direct deposit in Odoo, and then complete those payments inside of Wise. So, let's jump into our database and make some payments. Remember how we linked our business bank account to Wise in part 1? This time we're going to set up the bank establishment and bank account details Odoo will use to send payments between Stealthy Wood and our vendors. So let's start with the company's banking details. So we're going to open up our context application over here. Then we're going to select configuration and banks from that nice little menu right there. So these are the banks that are already configured. If I needed to add a new bank, I just select new over here up at the top, and we just fill out the details right there. But Stealthywood's bank happens to be the Bank of Stealth right there and is already set up, so I'm just going to use this one right there. However, I do have to configure the company's bank account. So to do that, I'm going to go once again to configuration, and this time we're going to select bank accounts from the list. So I'm going to click new over here in the top left to add a bank account to the database. So I want you to take a few notice to the name of, in this case, clearing number. Right below this is a field. Spoiler alert, this might change. So first, go to the account holder field right there and select the account holder from the list. This attaches the bank account to their contact record. And if you don't, or in this case, if you haven't added a US address to the account holder's record, make sure that you do that now. Let me show you why that's important. Okay, so the account holder can be an individual or a company. I'm going to select Stealthy Wood for our account holder right there. Since the company record has a US address, a couple of things happen. Clearing number has now turned into ABA/routing, and two more fields appear on the bank account type over here, and direct deposit transfer type have both appeared. We need these fields for direct deposit. So again, if the account holder's record doesn't have a US address, please add one now. For me, that would make me very happy. The account holder name field is automatically filled out right below it, but you can change that if you want. And if the account holder is an individual instead of a company, the company field over here is auto-filled. Now, in addition to the fields that have been filled out, there are several things that we need to confirm for the bank account to work with direct deposit. We have to enter a bank account number, which I'm going to do so right there perfectly. And then we need our ABA/routing number as well. Perfect. So the bank happens to be the Bank of Stealth, as I said earlier. And that also has to match the account linked to our Wise account. The most important setting is our send money toggle over here that you've just seen me click. This must be enabled and set to trusted, or we can't transfer any money. And I'm going to say this once again. Make sure to enable the send money setting. You've been warned. So below this, we have the bank account type. And this is set to checking, which is the correct option in this case. Finally, make sure the direct deposit transfer type over here is set to ACH, because direct deposit is a type of automated clearinghouse payments. And voila, easy, right? Our Stealthy Wood bank account is all configured. So altogether, the banking details include three things. Adding the bank, number one, making sure the account holder has a US address, and adding their bank account. But remember, the details that we added were just for the company. You also have to add the banking details for each vendor. If you don't, you can't send payments to them via direct deposit. I already have Stealthywood's vendor banking details set up, so I'm going to continue right on to the next step. Now that Wise is configured to work with our Odoo database and all of our banking information has been configured, we can create vendor payments. So let's see this direct deposit feature in action. So I'm going to go to the accounting application and we're going to click vendors in the top heading, and then we're going to select payments and then new, because we're going to make a new one. So first I'm going to set the vendor field to vendor. And you'll notice once that I do that, the vendor bank account field over here gets automatically filled in as well. That's based on the account holder field that we assigned on their bank account form. See how it's all coming together? Good stuff. So I'm going to add the amount of this, and that happens to be $100 for this payment. And for our memo, I'm going to label it as wood samples. So I'm going to change our payment method from manual payment to US direct deposit. Last, I'm going to click confirm over here to start processing the payment. Now, when I happen to return over to the vendor payments list over here, it happened to have been drafted and is in process, and we can see that right there. So now we have to finish processing those payments so that the vendor receives their direct deposit. Once the payments have been confirmed, we can create batches and send them over to Wise to complete the payments there. So I'm going to click on this checkbox next to the word date over here by the column, and then I'm going to select create batch, and boom. So quick tip, if you leave your batch and need to find it, you can actually click vendors over here and then select batch payments right there from the list. But we're already here. So now that the batch has been created, I can click initiate payment over here to send the batch to Wise for processing. Odoo automatically opens Wise in a new tab over here, but if you happen to have it already blocked by browser settings, you'll just get this warning like you see mine up at the top. You can only see that warning inside of Odoo, but that's okay. Don't panic. If Wise doesn't open automatically, you can open the batch in Wise anytime by clicking on this View Batch button right there, just at the top of the form. In the top right corner, we can actually see that our batch payment status has also been updated to sent. All that's left to do is complete those payments in Wise. So I'm going to select View Batch, and we're going to open up Wise. So on this page that opens, I'm going to select this big green Review Batch button over here to see the batch details and confirm everything looks correct. Then once that I've confirmed everything looks correct, I'm going to select the button up at the top left that happens to say Pay for this batch to complete all payments in this batch. For our payment option, we're going to select Wire Transfer right there, and then we're going to select Continue to Payments. And then once we're done, we're going to select Continue one more time. So now on this page, we actually need to confirm the details for the bank account that I'm paying with before I continue. I'm just going to use the test data that's filled out here, and then I'm going to select I've made my bank transfer. And just like that, the payments have been sent. Once that everything is done, we can just select Done to return to the batch. And that's a wrap on direct deposit. We built on our knowledge from part 1 and learned how to add banks and accounts for our company and our vendors, how to create and batch vendor payments in Odoo, and how to send those payments to Wise and process them. It's been a long journey. I'm proud of you. It's great. You're so wise now. So check out our other videos in the description to learn more about accounting in Odoo and how to reconcile these bank transactions. That's it for today. My inner wisdom is telling me to grab a snack. So I'm feeling like eating candy, actually. So I'll see you next time.